Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Venusian Light Tarot. So today we are going to be doing a scrying reading using the Black Obsidian scrying ball that I have here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be picking up on any news that is coming in to your life. So this could be news from a person, it could be news about some event or situation. It could be spiritual news, if that makes sense. Last reading I did with the scrying was a bit surprising, so anything can come up here. And yeah, we're just going to leave it open here to Spirit and see what news is coming in to your life. What's the next news you're receiving? So we have 3 groups to choose from. These were selected by Spirit. So before we start, let's set the intention that this reading is going to be for anybody who is here who finds this reading. So I trust that Spirit will guide those souls to this reading if it's meant for them. So if you do feel drawn to it, then it could be for you, and just take what's going to resonate. And if you would like to book a private reading, I have those details down below in the description box. So group number 1, you are going to be the dragon. Group number 2, you are going to be the stingray. And then group number 3, you're going to be the earthworm. Okay, so really choose with your intuition. Not just the one that maybe looks good or that you like the most, but just choose with your intuition which one really calls out to you, and take your time if you need to. You can pause the video if you need more time, and whenever you're ready, we will jump into group number 1. Hello, group number 1, if you chose the dragon. Let's go ahead and see what we have come up here for you. So we're going to be using the scrying ball here and tapping into anything that I can pick up on for what news is coming in to your life. So as I mentioned in the intro, this could be any kind of news. So we're just going to leave it open to Spirit and see what comes up here. Okay, so Spirit, tune me in, please, to anybody who is here who has chosen group number 1, the dragon. So tap me into everybody who is here, who is watching, and anyone who is guided to this reading. Allow me to channel any information that we can pick up on here for what kind of news is on its way to group number 1. So what news is it coming into their life? What can you show me with this? So right away I'm hearing that there could be news about, however this is going to be, you may hear news about how someone else, it kind of sounds bad, but somebody else has failed and you have won. So this could be because of something that happened with the situation, with a person. It may not be, it feels like very much like a justice kind of situation. So however that relates to you, it feels like the universe is balancing something in your life and creating this news that you need to hear, and even on a karmic level for you to kind of win at something or come out on top in a situation. So you may hear that either from a person, or it could even be in the spiritual realm here. I'm also being told that some of you may be receiving news which is going to put you onto a different path. They're showing me like a fork in the road here, one path here, one path here. So I don't know exactly what area that is, but you may be drawn to take a different path. And it could be because you either receive some kind of offer or you are given an opportunity which is going to kind of detour you into a new pathway. So be open to that change in path and in direction. Someone here could be getting news definitely about abundance coming in. I'm seeing a lot of gold coins falling, so there could be something about money coming in. It could be related to the justice energy I was getting in the beginning. So for somebody that could be, if you're waiting for you know, someone owes something to you or you're going through like a legal case, but that's only going to be for a few people. Others of you are just receiving, again, it may not be like one particular news. It could even just be like multitude of things which come in, which give you kind of a new promise of abundance in your life, especially financially. I don't know why this is coming up as news, but I'm getting that you may receive recognition for something about your appearance. This is just going to be for some people. Maybe you have like a new haircut or something, or you have a new hair color, and you may get feedback about the fact that it looks good, or people are going to take notice of you. Maybe the news comes in like social media or something like that for some of you. What news is coming in for group number 1? I am hearing, and some of these are very specific, kind of like what came up last time, so please just take what's going to resonate. If you've had any health issues, there is going to be some good news coming in from like a test result for somebody. So if you are worried about a test result and you have a good feeling about it, you may receive good news about that is something coming through. I'm also getting that on the same kind of note as that different pathway you're taking, some of you actually could be because of a new person that enters your life. It's not clear if it's a romantic connection, if it's a business partner, or even a friendship, but some of you are going to be receiving some kind of notification or news about this person entering your life, about some new endeavor that you have, and it seems like it's because of a new person that enters the scene, or you go into a certain direction, and that's kind of where you bump into this new person. They're bringing me back to the first message, and for some of you, this message I had seen about someone is not doing so well compared to you. It could even be an ex-partner I am getting for a few of you. You may hear news about this, or again, for that part of it, it almost feels like it could be like on a spiritual, you know, karmic level. So maybe you're hearing news through a reading, for example, or you're hearing news about it through even your own intuition. But it could be direct news too. But someone, it seems to be like an ex-partner, is not doing so well, and you're going to find that information out somehow compared to like where you are doing and how you're doing. I'm getting somebody here is going on a vacation. You may receive news about something being approved, or you win some contest or something, or there's like a vacation upcoming for somebody. Again, there's something here about your appearance for some reasons coming up. I don't know why they're categorizing it as news, so I don't know what that is, but maybe you're just receiving good news, like as in, you know, news of yourself, if that makes sense. Like you may look in the mirror and see that you've achieved a goal that you wanted with your weight, you know, something like that. But I'm just seeing that there's good news surrounding something with the improvement of your appearance, and even with your health as well for some of you. Yeah, and they keep wanting to reiterate that there's like a certain golden path upcoming for you. So that could be that if you've set an intention for something, like let's say you've set an intention to make more money, or to have like a, you know, maybe a up leveling in your career or more clients or something, you are going to be receiving news about that, which is going to land you into this like golden position, okay? And I'm getting for a few of you, they're pointing to the dragon here. Your third eye right now is very active, and your third eye is bringing you a lot of news about various things. So maybe the path that you're taking, which path is best for you to take, something involving maybe even that you're predicting your own future with something, okay? Something like that. But for a lot of you, there's this reference of gold I keep getting, like a lot of golden energy is coming into your life, especially when it comes to money and finance. I'm getting a super specific thing that just came up. I just saw a text message being sent, and I heard something along the lines of like, someone's interested in you, or they said something like that I'm interested, or maybe not actually say those words, but you're hearing some news directly from a person, which is through a text message. And it seems like it's about a romantic interest that is either interested in you, like maybe that you don't know about, or someone's going to be expressing their feelings for you, that they still have feelings for you or something like that. But that came in really strongly. So definitely for someone here, there's a text message coming in soon, it seems. Some kind of confession. Again, this is kind of, I feel like there's people who are going to be following you, not stalking following, but I'm seeing like a bunch of people who follow something that you're doing. So that depends if some of you have like your own business, or if you're doing something in work. You may have a lot of like news of new clients, for example, or news of even maybe, I don't know, followers on social media, something about people who are following you. It could even be connected to the same message about people who are going to be noticing something about you, that you have leveled up in some way, or that you look better, or maybe you're having news that a lot of people are interested in you or your products or something like that. Yeah, and they keep returning me back to that first original message about the justice situation. I'm seeing the tables have turned, and I'm literally seeing like tables that are turning, and I just heard that the tables have turned. So this could actually be in like a broad sense for some of you, to where you're receiving a lot of news about various things that maybe, you know, at one point in your life in the past, you felt like you were taking the L in the situation, and somehow it's twisted into the fact that you are now winning in those situations. So definitely I could see it being about love, but it seemed like it was a broad sense too. So for some of you, it's in different areas, or many different areas, even all at once. I'm definitely seeing like a new contract for somebody. It seems like, again, it's about a new job. So if you have been wanting a new job for someone specific, you are going to be receiving good news, or if you've had an interview recently. Others of you, it's just going to be, like I was saying, that you have more news of like clients or sales or something like that. What news is coming in for group number 1? What news is coming in for group number 1? I feel like some of you are going to be seeing the truth here, but it seems like it's coming from self. Okay, so for some of you, like I was saying about the third eye, and you did choose the dragon here, there could be a lot of spiritual activations you're going through. And I am getting a message here that you may even be receiving insight about your own energy, like your own body, maybe your chakra system, something like that, where you are getting much more in touch with like how you feel within self, and grounding yourself and being able to perceive sort of the energies around you and within you. So in some way that could be information or news coming through yourself. And they're actually showing me like a soap opera. And as I was saying that, I was seeing that you're piercing through things around you. So you may be receiving news about certain drama around you, situations that you're able to see directly through. So again, for that though, it seems like it's coming somehow within self. So maybe you're reaching conclusions, or you're reaching clarity about these people around you, but you may also be seeing something in your environment, which is like of drama, maybe seeing somebody going through something with drama. Again, like tables are turning in that situation, or in your life, in the relationship sector, maybe friends, family, and love. And I think that the news kind of in a way is that you're ready to excel, like you're ready to set yourself free. I keep being shown like you getting a award or something, but in this case it feels more like you are, like, how to put it, like somehow receiving news that, again, you have sort of conquered something, or you've won at something, which may have felt like it was at one point not going to work out, or that people were against you, or something like that. This is super specific. I'm being shown a table of people. It looks like 3 or more people. And I'm being shown one of those people whispers something to you, or tells you something. So you may receive news directly from a person in your friend group. I don't know exactly what that news is, but pay attention to what somebody says to you, especially if it's involving a group of people, or maybe someone's going to hint at something that's going to confirm what you already knew about a situation. So there's news directly from your environment and from a person. It could actually be about that ex, okay, or one of them. There could be 2 exes here, or there could be somebody. I don't know if it's the text message person or if it's the first person, but there could be something you're going to hear from a person about another person, which seems like the information's about an ex. yeah, and they're connecting it now back to what I was saying about the truth within self, within you. So it's kind of like you receiving news from a person about an ex gives you confirmation within yourself about the truth that you knew about that person, or it gives way to you to find the solution to that, or to know what to do moving forward because you heard that news, if that makes sense. It's something like that. The news comes in and then you either confirm that news that you've already known, or it like leads you to make a different decision when it comes to that person. I feel like, again, this could be super specific. Some of you, there could be news about someone spying on you. Again, I don't mean it's in like someone stalking you. It could be on social media. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but I'm just seeing an eye here looking at you, and I heard spy. So there's somebody spying on you, and it seems like you may be receiving news about this somehow. I don't know. Seeing them, catching them in action, or just realizing that someone is still like looking at you or looking for you or wanting something from you. I feel like some of you could receive some kind of news that is initially disappointing, and I don't know exactly what it is. It could be connected to some of the things I've said here in the reading, but I'm being shown you holding your head up high. And I'm hearing Spirit say that, hold your head up high. So it's almost like you're going to be initially disappointed at something that you'll hear, but you're going to take the approach of like not letting it bother you, or even advice coming in from Spirit that if something feels kind of disappointing, don't let it bother you, or don't let this person, maybe if it's about a person, don't let them kind of see you bothered just because it's coming up that way for some reason. So Spirit seems to know best. Maybe it's not supposed to affect you. Maybe you shouldn't concern yourself with that, or it's too much. It's not like, it's not something that you need to worry about, basically. Or things will maybe improve later on. So keep your head up high. It could be, and again, this is super specific, it could be about news that someone maybe is not interested in you. And that would be probably the case if maybe it's like a new person, or you ask somebody if they want to hang out or something along those lines, and maybe they say no. Either they say that they're not interested entirely, or maybe just someone says that they're busy, they can't meet up, something like that. And it may cause you to feel initially disappointed. But again, hold your head up high with that. Again, I'm getting a lump sum of money coming in. Some of you are going to be receiving like a big paycheck for something, or you're going to be just seeing that you have a lot more money kind of in your bank account here in general. But for some, it's like some kind of payout, some kind of pay raise you're getting. Yeah, I'm hearing someone is immature. So there's a few people who have come up in your reading, so I don't know which one it is, but somebody here may act immature. Could be the disappointing person. Someone's going to act a bit immature, and you're going to hear or just observe that this person's still immature, or that they're just acting immature. I'm hearing that could be in April. Again, I keep being shown someone stepping on a scale and being very happy with what they see. So that's going to be for somebody. I know it probably won't be for a lot of people, but someone is on a weight loss journey maybe, and you're going to be seeing that you've lost the weight that you wanted to lose. Again, I'm seeing compliments. Somebody's going to compliment you on something, or even multiple people complimenting you on your appearance. What news is coming in for group number 1? Yeah, so a strong message is coming up here about an ex who still has feelings for you. So, excuse me. So it could be the person who's going to text you. Again, there's various people, excuse me, in this reading, but there is definitely an ex here who does still miss you, and somehow you're going to hear that, or receive news directly from them, or that's the person saying something about them. Somebody here, your child is going to do something that you're very proud of. It looks like it's in school. So maybe you're going to, something about like a teacher saying something that your child did this, or you're very proud of something that your child has done. And that's going to be some news coming in. But overall, I'm just getting a sense that over the course of like maybe the next month to 2 months here, there's a lot of like overall positive news coming in. So you're kind of like on a wave of like positivity here, or it's going to shift into that, where a lot of the things that you're just seeing around you and a lot of the news coming in is going to be just uplifting, positive. You're kind of on like a momentum. You know how sometimes when we start to have good things happen, it just kind of rolls into everything else, like good things after good things. Not like everything's perfect, but that's going to be a lot of the news that is coming in for you is going to be on a positive, like momentum rolling for you is something that they want to say. So overall, there's a lot of that. And lastly, they want to point to news directly. I'm hearing directly from this dragon, which is interesting. I don't know if some of you connect to this dragon somehow personally, or like a dragon as it's a powerful totem here. And I'm not sure if the dragon's going to come to you in like a meditation or something, but there's a strong message here. Before I was going to close up the reading, and then the dragon said to pick me up and kind of say that there's a strong message here that you need to hear directly from this dragon. And my dog is scratching his ears, but something about how you're receiving spiritual news through, again, like an activation you're moving through, where something with your chakras, something with your light body, that you're receiving some kind of expansion of like a gift of yours, or just downloads kind of coming in here from very ancient beings. It's like you're receiving a lot of spiritual truths and a lot of spiritual knowledge. And some of this actually could be overarching the whole thing with the reading. So all the little details that I was mentioning in the reading could actually be because, how to put it, like because of you accessing deeper knowledge within self, or having a lot of truths that are just, it almost feels like a magical time for your intuition. As you receive that, it gives way to your environment to have those trickles of information around you, you know, if that makes sense. It's something like that, to where it's like it's a domino effect here. Because I keep hearing spiritual guidance. A lot of spiritual guidance is coming in for you. So pay attention to all of the synchronicities you're experiencing, the dreams you're having, just what you feel intuitively called to. A lot of that intuition is going to prove itself to be accurate in the physical world in the form of these kinds of news coming in. So those could just be sort of tidbits kind of confirmation of how your reality is changing based on what you're receiving intuitively, okay, is something coming through. So definitely with that dragon, there's something special about that. But I'm going to leave it here for you, group number 1. I hope this reading could be resonant for you. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. I'd appreciate it. And I will talk to you all next time. Take care and lots of love. Hello, group number 2, if you chose the stingray. Let's go ahead and see what comes up here for you. So what news is coming in here for group number 2? And just take what's going to resonate. Group number 1 did have a lot of very specific little details. So if something doesn't feel like it's for you, then, you know, don't feel like you have to take it. Just take what's going to resonate with you. So Spirit, tune us in to anybody who is here who has chosen the stingray group number 2. So tap me into everyone who is currently watching group number 2. So can you show me, please, what kind of news is coming in for them? And this could be spiritual news. It could be news kind of in your environment, just whatever this could be for group number 2. Okay, so I was being shown someone sitting on the couch, and then I just saw them like spring up from the couch and feel motivated to take action towards something. So you may receive like positive news of some kind of opportunity. Maybe there's been some certain thing that you've been feeling has been on pause. Maybe you've been feeling lazy within yourself, low energy levels, something like that, or just disappointed with something. And it feels like you're going to be taking bold action, or at least you're going to be feeling excited for some kind of news that's going to take you out of like a couch potato mode, is what they showed it to be for someone. I'm also being shown these like these light codes kind of going down like the center. So some of you actually, yeah, the stingray here, I didn't see that. So some of you might be receiving news here about something of the straight line like that, something with your chakras, something about, it seems like it could be more from like a spiritual being delivering this news, or like, I don't know, a reading you're receiving, something which is going to, it feels like some kind of light codes though. So that could be news that you receive in, again, obviously a more spiritual way, like in the dream state, or something that you even feel inspired to do, with the reference of getting up from the couch. So maybe you're receiving like an inspired action, or something that just suddenly pops up in your mind that you want to do, or that you want to create or pursue. Okay. Yeah. They're showing me somebody looking at their watch, and then I'm hearing again, it's time. So something you've been waiting for is coming in. Something you've been waiting for. The news is finally reaching you about this. Let's see if we can get any more detail about that. But that's something coming through. This will be a time of action coming in to receive information about things that have been on standstill or pause. I'm also being told, this is again very specific, but some of you may be receiving news that you are approved for something. It looks like maybe you're moving into a new home. It could be that you are getting ready to clear out one area of your life and then move into a new area, but it looks like you're vacating something, like vacating a home. So maybe you're finally getting the go-ahead to move, or to start to look into a direction that you want to restart your life in. I feel like you're going to be receiving news here for some of you about a reconciliation. I'm seeing a card from my manifested oracle, the reconciliation. I'm seeing 2 people holding hands. So however this news reaches you, I'm not sure, but there's going to be news that you will hear about this reconciliation. Let me see. Yeah, it's connected to the watch reference. Something where, I don't know exactly how this is, but something to where the timing maybe was not right around some kind of love connection as well. And now you're receiving news that it's the right time. I don't know how that news comes in, like if somebody tells you that directly, or if you just talk things through with this person, but there's some kind of news here about how it's like, it could even be specific, I'm getting to, where you may hear news that somebody has left something else. That could be specific, but with the, because I'm seeing something about like a deceptive move made at some point in the past, and then I'm being shown it washed away, and some kind of resolution made. So you may even receive news that someone is ready to come clean about something, or that they're ready to, you know, want to maybe get back together with you, or if you want to do that, something like that. I feel like some of you are going to be very busy. This seems to be more so in like the work setting, I feel, this part. So you may receive news which is going to bring a more active workload for you. So maybe you're going to receive news of some bigger project that you've taken on, or more clients that come towards you, something like that, where you have more to do. this is super specific. I'm hearing something about like an investment that was made, and it's like I'm seeing that you're looking at some like a computer screen in happiness, like something has generated a lot of money for you or something like that. Like there's positive news about something you put a lot of time, energy, or money into is going to pay itself up. Like it's going to prove to be very successful. What news is coming in for group number 2, the Stingray group? I'm being shown some of you actually are going to be getting first place in something. It looks like it's maybe in the workplace. So either you're going to be receiving news that you've won like an award, or that you're congratulated for something that you've done. Okay. Or it could even be more on like a broader term that you're just going to receive news. For your reading, it's a bit different because it's almost like the news I'm getting is I can't distinguish the source of your news. Group number 1 was super specific with like exactly where the news is coming from. Yours feels more like it's on like it's not clear where the news comes from. So this could tell me that it's from just like spirit. It could be from something with that stingray, like within yourself maybe, or things that are just adding up in your life. But yeah, but somehow you're receiving news about you being like number 1, or that you've accomplished a certain level of success, which puts you sort of in first place, or like you're seen. I'm being shown somebody writing down a manifestation in a journal. This is super specific too. And I'm being shown again that manifestation comes true. So something you've always wanted, or something that you actually could have quite literally affirmed this a lot, or wrote this down in your like manifestation journal, and you're going to find out soon that that is going to be confirmed, of that actually transpired, that manifested. I am being shown somebody could be deciding to move, so kind of like I already said, but it almost looks like, not sure why it's coming up this way, but I'm almost seeing someone driving on the road and then they do a sharp U-turn because they decide to go somewhere else. So maybe you receive news that you've changed directions, or that, I don't know exactly what that is, but something to where you've made like a U-turn, either actually or metaphorically, but it almost looked like it was moving from state to state, something about that. So maybe however that news comes in, about a change in location or change in direction, which seems to be quite sudden. Yeah, I feel like there's actually something quite special taking place for you soon. I'm almost getting this like sense of, I'm seeing someone crying tears of happiness though, and it almost looks like I was saying in the beginning about the watch reference, something that you've always wanted to sort of happen, or you've been waiting for this moment. And it seems like it's spirit has helped to align this for you. And that's going to be part of the news, which for you is again on a more of like a bigger sense. That could be why too, because it's going to be something that has been worth waiting for, which could be like a bundle of things even, you know. I'm being shown, I don't know why this is news, but receiving news about some big product you're buying. It looks like, I don't know what it is, but something that you've wanted to buy at a store, which looks like it's a very expensive item. I don't know, news that you're receiving that, news that someone's bought that for you, or just that you maybe have the means to buy it. I'm hearing that there actually could be news that someone here is jealous of you. For some of you, you're going to hear it directly from a person. Others of you are going to observe it. You're going to realize, almost it's like a feeling somehow that you're having, that there's someone or there's a group of people who are jealous of you. And this could be because you are heading towards greater success. And so some of you may start to see that or realize that somebody or a group of people are jealous of you. I'm hearing news about a father. Let me see. What is this? Or maybe news from a father. I don't know. It kind of went away. We'll see if it comes back, but it just sort of popped in and then left. Any other news for group number 2 that's coming in for them? I feel like, again, it's almost like I feel for some of you, there's news here coming in, how to put it, like, I'm seeing a lot of tears. So there is a lot of maybe like emotions for you, but it's almost like some of it is challenging emotions and some of them are very positive and happy emotions. So maybe a lot of changes that are just coming in for you. And I don't know why it feels like it's hard to grasp it. Like it's like there's something really big happening, but I can't grasp it. And so maybe that's because it's something of a surprise element for you, or it's in the process still of like manifesting. You know, it hasn't come into clear focus yet, but it's a positive change. And it's again aligned to something that you've wanted to happen, like, or you've been waiting for this, or you've been sitting still for a while, or there's been some area that's been on pause, and it's like the news that will get you out of that or will make you very happy is like so close kind of, but it's not enough to grasp it fully, even though it's some of what I had already said, but that's kind of how it's coming through. Some of you here could be receiving, again, it's not really news for you, but okay, it's in like the solar plexus chakra, where you may be receiving some news about you doing better, like, or you're more successful at something, or you, again, have accomplished something. You may even be receiving like a recognition from a boss, for example, or from someone around you who is acknowledging that you have succeeded. You may be receiving news of people maybe, you know, kind of telling you that you've done a really good job at something. It's like your confidence is on the rise. I feel some of you, there's very relieving news coming in. And again, it's all kinds of things for you. It's all in one kind of feeling, but I'm being shown you feeling a sense of relief, like a level of peace. So the events that are going to unfold for you are going to bring way for just peaceful news in general to kind of flow in, for things that feel more relieving, something even very specific that's been worrying you, or it's been pressing on your mind for a while. You will receive peaceful news about that situation, and you're going to feel like you either made the right decision with that, or you have what you need kind of to be okay with it, or to be happy with it, and to move forward with something that's been disturbing you. I feel that you may receive news directly about a person that's been very hot and cold with you. And that could be part of actually what the relieving feeling is about. Although it's not clear what you decide to do with that. Some of you are going to be relieved because you finally cut somebody off that's been hot and cold. Others of you may be relieved because somebody is more consistent, or you talk things through with that. Again, they're showing me you being number one. So whatever you decide to do, it's like you feel okay with something because you've decided to take first, like your first place with this, or you're no longer concerning yourself with putting yourself as second best. Some of you are going to be receiving news directly from a spirit guide. This seems to be a very important message. it may come to you out of nowhere, or it may come to you like in the dream state, but there's a specific thing that's going to come through to you that you need to pay very close attention to. And when that time comes, you'll know more of what it is, you know, because for your reading, I think a lot of why it's coming up this way is because you're in the process of learning something, or that you're in the process of the universe not wanting to give you too many small details, because it is something with that stingray sticking out to me with the straight line here in the chakra system. Like, how to put this? Like, what's happening for you is one big kind of lesson, and also this big kind of upgrades that are happening for you energetically. So you are feeling the beginnings of these, and they're beginning to kind of come in, but you're not necessarily there yet for the stingray to be used to kind of pinpoint it. I hope that makes sense. It's very hard for this pile. For group 2, you could definitely be like the spiritual pile of the 3. I haven't done group 3 yet, but group 1 was very different than this one. This feels like it's so large, like the energy is so large, it's not specific. So I think that it's because a lot of the news for you is preparing you for next chapters of your life and big events that are unfolding, which you are still, again, in the process of kind of pinpointing them within yourself and in your surroundings. So there may be a lot of emotions that you're going to go through. Again, both challenging and also positive, happy emotions. And actually, like the stingray, you know, kind of is swimming at the bottom, you know, so it's on the ground, like of the ocean floor. So I feel like, you know, we have to shuffle our feet sort of to avoid stepping on the stingray. And it's that kind of feeling to where you may have to be a bit cautious right now. Yeah, I'm being shown someone climbing a staircase. So it's like the overall news for you is that you're going to be continuing to climb like a staircase forward in your life. And especially on this spiritual quest and journey that you're on, you're accelerating, you're moving forward. And ultimately the news for you is more of like an encouragement for you to know that you're on the right path, and that the things that you've wanted are beginning to unfold. Like, you know, it may not be exactly right now. It's like the phone's not necessarily ringing yet, but the signal has been transmitted. So we haven't maybe received all of this news yet, and maybe Spirit's saying it's not quite ripe to come in fully yet, but there is still progression, and there's still news kind of on a more broad sense, intuitively and spiritually, that these things are coming, okay? Yeah, and then I'm hearing that you may also, on that same note too, you may hear news involving like the true colors of people around you, maybe somebody specific. And again, they're not making it clear whether it's good news or bad news. It's almost like something that you have to figure out maybe when the time comes. But there's going to be a lot of like exposing of things around you in your environment. But lastly, I'm being shown somebody receiving like a big gift, like almost like Christmas, but this is not Christmas. It's just the way they're showing it. And it's like this large gift, and it's wrapped, and it's, so that could be literal, because I did see something about someone buying like a big product. So I don't know if you're going to receive some news about like you buy something big, like some big item, or someone gifts that to you. But I can also see it being like metaphorically speaking, you're receiving a lot of gifts, and they are like on their way. You know, they're on the truck on the way to you. They may not have arrived yet, but they're on the truck. They're out for delivery kind of feeling. So it's overall positive news, but you may have to give things a bit more time for this one. But the last thing I'll say too, from the beginning with that watch reference and you kind of getting off the couch, you're nearing that point of the silent kind of areas, or the still parts of your life are nearing the manifestation of that news, so that you can see the result of that in your physical world. I really hope that makes sense. But I'll leave it here for you, group number 2. I hope this reading could help. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. I'd appreciate it. And I will talk to you all next time. Take care and lots of love. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the earthworm, let's go ahead and see what we have come up here for you. So what news is coming in for you, group number 3? So just take what's going to resonate. Group 1 and 2 were quite different, and for one of the groups things were very specific, so just take the parts that are going to resonate with you. And let's see here. So Spirit, tune me into anybody who is here who has chosen group number 3, the earthworm. What news is coming in? This could be spiritual news, actual news delivered, news from people, whatever this might be. So what information can you show me here for the viewers who are watching for group number 3? What news is coming in for them? I don't know why I'm seeing somebody at a museum. So you could be going to some kind of museum. It's just coming through. So some of you actually could be chosen for something. This looks to be some kind of, I don't know, it could be like a study. It could be something that you're chosen for, maybe something involving a museum, maybe like a group gathering you're going to, or some kind of retreat or ritual for somebody. It's like there's news of that developing, or there's news of that you're going there, or that you're chosen for that kind of role or something like that. I feel like you're receiving news that's going to help to break you free from something. This seems like something that you've been kind of stuck on or stuck with for a little bit, and you are receiving news about that kind of being able to break free. For a lot of you, it feels to be in relation to something within your self-growth. Like I said, it could be some area of study for a few of you, or it could be that you're going to be receiving just news that like you've been accepted for something, or that you like are able to achieve something that you've kind of wanted to do, but you didn't have maybe the time for it or the means for it. And there's news about that like you're ready to pursue it now, or you're accepted for this. I feel like some of you are receiving, I guess you can call it news. Spirit's putting in the category of news, something where I'm seeing that there's like a lot of sweat kind of release from your body, like a detox. So you may receive kind of a feeling, in a way it's like, I guess, good news about your energy levels, or something to where you've released something again. Maybe even that you've gotten rid of something kind of that's been like a pest for you, or something that's been annoying you, or that has been somehow like an issue for you. You're being able to release it. And for some of you, it could be something within your body, like a health issue maybe, or something that you have been wanting to get rid of. I'm seeing a pet here. I feel like you may be receiving news about new people, or even like a pet or pets or animals entering your life. It seems like this could be kind of what I said about like the group thing or the study. That's for somebody, that you have more like time for that, or you have more people who are interested in something that you're doing, something involving some people who are going to be playing a role in your life, or that you're interacting with, and there's news about that, which is positive news. I am being shown birds. I'm seeing hawks and I'm seeing eagles. So some of you actually could be receiving news directly from birds. So maybe if you're sitting outside or something, or you see like a bird swoop by, that could be a confirmation of this reading, or just a confirmation that you do, like, birds communicate with you, and they're communicating with you right now at this point in your life. And again, for some of you, it's like there's something you couldn't quite figure out. And like what's coming in soon is that you're going to have the means to figure it out now. Some of you may be getting over a breakup, okay? And it seems like this is in a way where somehow it reaches you that you are able to let it go now. It doesn't even feel like you hear something. It just feels like you, maybe you do. Maybe there's something specific that you see or hear, or that you go again somewhere to some kind of, I don't know, you go somewhere for some of you, and it helps you to remove yourself from like a relationship. For some of you, you may receive news about that person that you had a breakup with, which is going to help to set you free. And it doesn't have to be bad news about them. It just could be something which helps you to make the right decision, or to release yourself from whatever kind of held you back with that person. And with this like energy too of the earthworm, I'm being drawn to say, with like the detox energy as well, a lot of news overall that's coming in for your life is going to be very healing news. It has a lot to do with new beginnings. So you may be getting information involving where the new beginnings can take place for you. So maybe, you know, this certain place you're going to, or this certain group of people who you're meeting, or someone that you're going to talk to who's going to help you through things. There's just a lot of like doors opening for you in the form of various news of that, which can lead you to new beginnings in your life. I'm being shown somebody searching for you on like Google, or maybe you are doing that, but there's something about, and this actually, they're showing me it could be about a person like searching for you, maybe in matters of love somehow, or you're gonna see something about someone through like a search. It could also be that this is like a work situation. Maybe someone's checking out your credentials, or you are, and it feels like it's in preparation for like something to come from that. But some of you quite literally just could receive news that someone is kind of looking you up or wanting information about you. I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm being shown something about, like, let's say for example, it's showing me something with your face. Like I'm being shown the lips, but it doesn't have to be the lips. It could be some area that's been like, I'm not sure if you had like a scar, or if you have some breakouts, or just something about the face. There's something here. You're receiving kind of positive news, it looks like, when you see yourself in the mirror, or when you have a product that works with that, or something helps you with that. So basically, if you've been having some issue on your face, it will be resolved. I feel like some of you are going to be having a very strong connection with somebody here. I'm being shown you're on cloud 9. So you may be hearing from someone that's going to make you feel very good. The news from this love interest is going to kind of put you on cloud 9. But others of you are just going to be experiencing that. Like you're going to be maybe, it's like the news is coming from yourself. It's kind of interesting. It's like the news is coming maybe from your higher self to say that like this connection feels good. Maybe like a new connection, or someone that enters your life. Something's going to feel very right for you. What news is coming in for group number 3? I'm seeing, again, now I'm seeing like a lake, and I'm seeing a lot of people that you're going there with. So for someone, there's definitely some kind of retreat that you're going to, you know, or if you're hosting a retreat, there's a lot of positive feedback with that. But for a lot of you, you're going somewhere to some kind of event, and either the news is coming in about the kind of, whereabouts of that, or you actually go there soon. I am getting specifically there could be somebody who's still upset about you. This could be, if for that group of you specifically, if you did go through a breakup, you may hear news that this person you broke up with is still not doing well after the breakup, or they're not happy without you, or maybe they're just not doing well in general, but there's something to where this person's not doing well. And I actually do feel for some of you, this person could be trying to reach out to you or trying to get back in your life. And that could be some news coming in from that person directly. This kind of came up for another group too, but I am getting for some of you, you could hear something from a person who's going to tell you something about that person you were dealing with. I'm being shown Archangel Michael. So if you do connect with like Archangel Michael in meditation, there could be something that you're receiving from, you know, Archangel Michael, some kind of download or something that you are receiving here directly from him. Yeah, this is super specific, but somebody could be showing up. This looks to be like, it doesn't have to be the exact setting, but I'm being shown like an exact setting coming up. It looks to be like on a farm or something, or like in a secluded area, and someone is on the back porch knocking on the back door. So, and it looks like someone who is wanting to talk with you. And this actually could be someone who is guided to you spiritually. It's not clear to me if it's one of the same people we picked up on. It could be the ex person who wants to come back. It also could be someone who's like, maybe it's a friend you haven't talked to for a little bit. I'm not saying that they have to just like show up one day randomly. They could tell you that they're on their way or something, or that they want to see you. But for others of you, it's also like metaphorically that someone's going to just want to show up and show back up in your life. Like, I'm also being told that some news is going to come directly again from your higher self or your intuition. Could be in relation to this person who wants to come back. You're going to know exactly what to do if you tap into your intuition. It's almost like I'm being told like no one else can tell you what to do except for your intuition. I am being told that some of you may be having news about a betrayal. This looks to be around you. Like, I don't feel like you're directly involved in it. So it could be that you received news that someone else was involved in some kind of betrayal, or it may be that it is someone that you cared about who betrayed you, but it doesn't seem like you're directly involved in it for some reason. Like you're kind of standing here and then you hear about the betrayal over here. So maybe you don't really care about that, or it's something that, it's almost like I feel Spirit's very much protecting you right now from something. And so you may even, again, like receive this news, but it happened like for a reason, like rejection is divine protection kind of feeling. I don't know if it's the ex person or the person who shows up on your doorstep, but it's something like that, to where if you do hear news about a betrayal, something involving it happened for a reason, or that you don't need to sort of concern yourself with the details because it was divine protection for you if that happens. This is super specific, and I don't know if this is actually literally or if this is how Spirit shows it metaphorically, but I'm being shown someone standing up abruptly in a restaurant. Like, I don't know if it's you or them, but someone decides to just leave. Like, they don't want to be there anymore. They don't want to talk anymore. They don't want to deal with this anymore. So maybe you're going to decide to just abruptly get up and leave, or you're just going to decide to cut something off, or someone might do that to you. on a completely different note, some of you could be receiving recognition in the workplace, especially if you are a teacher. That's just for somebody. If you're like looks like small children here, preschool maybe, or something, something to where you could receive news of you being like, maybe it's teacher of the month or something like that for somebody. Or even if you're not a teacher, there's just some positive news coming in about your whatever you do for work. But it seems like it doesn't seem like it's like your own business. It seems like you're being recognized from like other coworkers or other people who are admiring your work. Again, I'm being shown somebody trying to put a key in a door, and then they try like 3 different keys and none of them work, and then they finally find the right key. Some of these, again, could be literal. Maybe some of you are trying to find the right home or something, or you're trying to find the right location or office space, and you will find the right key for that. It also could be a metaphor to just something you are finding a solution to. A lot of there's a lot going on for you, I feel, for this pile. There's a lot of things happening around you. So you may have to, kind of try different keys and things to make things work right now, or this month or next few months, maybe like 1 to 2 months, but you will find the right solutions to things. What news is coming in for group number 3? I can't remember if I just said this for this reading or if I'm picking up on what I was saying for group number 2. So I can't remember, but there's something about your face here and something that you're receiving, like positive news that something is healed on your face area. Or maybe you're getting something done on your face, but I think for most of you, it's like something is, I don't know, you're finding a certain cream that you can use, or you're finding a certain lotion that works for you, or something is healed on your face, or there's some upgrade on your face. Again, I think it was this pile. They're showing me again, somebody's searching for you on Google. It almost looks too like now they connected it to the stars in the sky, and someone's searching for, like, you represent one of those stars and all of the, stars in the sky, and then they're searching for you. So you could have someone who's like searching for you, and maybe there's news that you're either receiving intuitively, like this person's been searching for me, like maybe like a future lover, for example, or it could be that that is someone who's actually been searching for you on the internet, and somehow or another I guess you hear this or you just feel this. I'm hearing this song. I have no idea who sings it, but I'm hearing Can't Let Go. So again, there might be someone who's having a hard time letting go of you, definitely. You are going to be receiving intuitive hits about that, or direct confirmation from somebody or from them even, that this person is not over you, kind of, or they're not able to forget about you. I have no idea why this is coming up, but I'm seeing you taking like a certain lunch to work, and somebody's commenting on how your lunch looks really good. Maybe some of you are doing some kind of meal prep. I don't know why that's news, but some compliments on your cooking, or compliments on how you've maybe changed your diet or something. And then lastly, I'm getting that some of you might receive some kind of disappointing feedback or disappointing news, which looks like it's in the workplace. it looks like maybe, I don't know exactly what it is. Either you submit something and then you kind of get feedback from like your boss or someone that says that it's not maybe what they wanted or what they were looking for. It may also be that you receive, maybe you're rejected for like a promotion or something, something that you're disappointed about. But I'm kind of getting, again, that divine protection feeling to where a lot of things that happen for you right now are for a reason, to maybe prepare you for something better. I'm hearing, what is that phrase? Don't flog a dead horse or something. I don't know. I think that's what it's called, or what the phrase is. So don't try to return back to the scene kind of things that are broken or things that are no longer like for you. It feels like this is a time again for new beginnings for many of you. So there's a lot of news that are going to help to kind of lead you into new beginnings of your life. I'm also being told with this, I'm hearing something like protect your energy. Some of you could be earth signs, you don't have to be, but there's something very much about you have like an innocence to you right now, or you have a certain freshness to you right now, or you're entering again into like a new beginning. And so Spirit's saying that this earthworm, you're getting a lot of synchronicities from the universe that are preparing you to guide you into new horizons and to expand beyond where you are now. So pay attention to those synchronicities, pay attention to those signs. I'm hearing music. And some of you actually could have like one major download coming in. This is super specific, but for some reason I'm hearing like starseed origins, or you're going to receive some kind of big download about like where you come from, or something which clicks into place. I'm not sure if you receive it just through, it seems like a download, but maybe it's prompted by like a reading or something like that. And it's like it changes the course kind of the next steps of your life. Maybe like for this, it feels more about like your overall life path, like maybe things that you're about to pursue. Maybe it's life mission, career, some next steps of your journey. You're going through a process of finding like a new solutions, and they're actually wanting to say, what I'll say finally to close up the reading, if you felt drawn to any of the other two piles, I won't say like which one it is, there's one that's more prominent, but if you did feel drawn to one other of the piles, that may have been like a precursor to what this is about to be. So it may be like the information that I was saying in that pile, maybe setting you up kind of for the changes that you're going to see so that you can walk a new path. But I will leave it here, group number 3. I hope that this reading could help. Definitely let me know if it does. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and I will talk to you all next time. Take care and lots of love.